We are live. Hey, it is time for Motivating the Motivator. How's everybody doing today? Um, I'm actually just thrilled that I get to speak to Tiffany Kerr today. I will admit, my spirits are slightly down a little bit. Not slightly, a lot. I want to send some love to Jacob Blake's family, and that's a whole big conversation right there. But yeah, I just want to send out some love to him and his. God bless his attorneys. Sue their asses. Anyway, I'll get on that another time. Here's Tiffany. Hey, Tiff.
Hey.
I was trying to stay up to start us off. I was like, I'm just glad I'm talking to Tiff because I don't want to talk about Mr. Blake right now, but I was like
Oh,
sending love to his family, sending healing to him, and I'm just like, sue their asses till you can't sue them no more. But anyway,
yes,
that is
yes.
another conversation because she and I could get on that right now. Hmm. um, Tiffany, hi, baby.
Hey.
How are you, hon?
Can you see I put my lipstick on for you today?
Uh, thank you.
Yes, I did. Just for you.
Because you know I am the lipstick queen. Yes, as you know, I love my lipsticks. Love, love, love. It was so good to see you. It's
Yeah.
always good to see you, though.
Good to see you too.
It's always good to see you. I'm going to give my little intro. So, everyone, this is Tiffany Kerr. Do I always say that right, Kerr?
Car.
Kerr. I always say it, Kerr, like, oh, Kerr.
Yeah,
Wrong.
that's
Kerr.
okay.
So let's see. Tiffany and I are, we know each other because of Mocha Moms, which is such a beautiful organization. We're going to talk about them. I call it, it's an organization, but it's a sisterhood too, and a support system and all that good stuff. And we are going to talk about that in a little bit. But that's how I know Tiffany. And my little story is when I first got involved with them, and my son was maybe 12, 13 or something. Um, she was one of the first members to she doesn't just say, welcome to the organization. I mean, Tip was one of those, welcome, how are you? She, like, her arms embrace you, but her spirit embraces you.
Oh,
And her, just her being and her gentleness and her kindness, and her fierceness, because I need to let people know gentle and kind does not mean you're not fierce and powerful. And you just had that, and you embraced me from day one. Even when I would see you at the gym, seems like 1,000 years ago we were at a gym.
right.
But just that is just who Tiffany is, and you're gonna Tiffany Carr is. So you and I said it wrong before you got on. So we're gonna talk about why she is here. So how does she motivate me? Why is she somebody here? Why is she somebody that you all should listen up and be inspired by? So that's what this conversation is about. So everybody, welcome to the stage. We're gonna do a drum roll. It is Tiffany Carr. Hey babe, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Latifa. What an intro. You're so sweet.
Oh, you are. You really are. So
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited about your Motivating the Motivator series. I thought it was wonderful. I've been watching
oh, thank you.
you and we're just women uplifting women. This is beautiful. I'm happy to be here and take my mommy time away from the family
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like I said, put on my bright lips just for you because you always inspire me with that. And yes, I do miss the gym. I miss us working out.
Yeah.
I love our yoga session. So the
Mhm.
whole spiritual positive energy is
Yes.
what
Thank
we're
you.
striving for tonight and
Yes.
every day. That's what we continue to do. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for coming on. There's all these things I want to talk to you about, but I want to start off with the one that's one of the most exciting things and one I can seriously say I'm uber proud of you for. She's already an author, but her book, Chic Situations, is out September 1st. You can get it on Amazon, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. And I want to talk about that book. I wrote in the blurb for the post for this that's upcoming. I'm like, some of y'all will need to listen to this very carefully because this is about etiquette. So it's about etiquette, but it's not just any old book. So let's just talk about that and talk about why. So let's talk about the why of the book. Um, who inspired you? Why did you decide to write this? Let's talk about the fact that it's self-published and how do you do that? Because there are people who are going to be watching this who are like, I have a book in me, but how do I get this out? So let's talk about that first.
Yes, yes. So here she is. This is the
I
book right
love
here,
it.
Chic Situations, and the subtitle is Create, Embrace, and Enjoy Life's Chic Situations. So the book came about, this is a 5-year journey with this. First
Mhm.
of all, the name came before the book. And the name came before the book because I was trying to create this certain lifestyle for myself and my family. About 5 years ago, you buy a home, and this was about at least 10 years ago. We bought our first home, but once you start living in your home and you start trying to have parties and have people over, and you start hosting people, you start thinking, okay, am I doing this the right way? Am I setting the table the right way? Am I minding
Mhm.
my manners the right way? Am I inviting people the right way? Am I socializing the right way? All of these things I started to think about and research, because you want things to be perfect, but in life things will never be
Mhm.
perfect. But you want to put
No.
your own spin and flair on things. So, but before buying the house, the whole story came from me moving from California and coming to New Jersey to be with my husband and start a family. We got married. I had a daughter, and it was lonely. It was lonely and it was hard. It was tough,
Hmm.
as a new mom. And I wasn't even 30 years old yet. My husband was working 12 hours a day, and I was away from my whole support system. So um, it just came about from me trying to develop who I was and who I
Yeah.
wanted to be, because you don't really know, even
Mhm.
after you have your first child, you're still trying to figure it all out and figure out, what am I
Oh
doing?
my
Am I
gosh.
doing this right?
I think after you have your first child, you really start to question a lot of things. Who the hell
Yes,
am I?
yes. And that
Yeah.
was me. It was like, am I doing all this the right way? So I started researching stuff, after calling, bothering people forever and calling back home. It was like, okay, I need to stop calling my family and bugging them because they're on a 3-hour time difference.
Yeah.
And they don't have time to sit on the phone with me for hours. So I started doing my own research and going to the library, going to Barnes and Nobles, picking up different books on how to be a better mom, how to be a wife, how to make a home, how to do the laundry, how to make a bed, how to hold my wine glass properly. It was all these things that I was researching because
Like
I,
this, right?
yes, it,
I'm
it
just
was
kidding.
like this, yeah, like tunnel vision, because
Yeah.
there was no one here to teach me, unfortunately. I
Yeah.
had to teach myself everything because I got
Hmm.
married so young. And then I realized there has to be other women out here like me. I am not the
Right.
only one out here struggling on how to and I'm not trying to talk about doing things perfectly. I'm just speaking of doing it the way that you would want it to look best for you and for your family. Like, not
Right.
just rolling out of bed and scrambling through the day. There's so much more to life than that. So once I started doing all this research, I put all my notes together and said it has to be in one book. It has to be all this information in
See.
one book that can help other
Yes.
women too. Like I'm helping myself, and I'm not. I keep using the word not perfect, because sometimes
Uh,
we could be perfect in our own not perfect way.
right.
So that's the part of the encouragement of the book is create your own chic situations, no matter what that is and what that looks like. because your definition of beauty may be different from my definition of beauty. And
Mm-hmm.
it's all about channeling from within. So, thinking about the word chic is French. And of course, one of our vacations, we went to Paris and I fell in love with France and came
Mm.
back and I was like, wow, you know, so many different types of women live in a different way. And it's like we can learn from each and every type of culture
Yeah.
and different
Mm-hmm.
types of woman. And you could take bits and pieces of a woman and say, you know what, I love the way that she is wearing that purse, or just the way that she's walking, or like you like rocking that lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could do that too. You know, you think about how can these women encourage me? And
Right.
and it's not that we're copying, it's just that you're allowing that energy and that creative energy to come inside of you and make you a better person.
You're
So
inspired.
yes, you're inspired. It's like, how can she look so good in jeans and a t-shirt? You know, it's like it's just that little flair, and
Yeah.
we call it that je ne sais quoi, and that's what the French call it. It's like that little something that is about you, Latifa,
Yes.
that makes you special and makes you chic and unique. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the purpose of the book. It's just not etiquette. It's just not my story. It's not a autobiography. It's a book of real life situations
Yeah.
and how to make them better, because there are ways that we can elevate our life, it just a little bit,
Yes.
that it's just with a
Yeah.
little effort that can make our lives better and enjoyable, because I think it's a lost art. And I want to say that
I
because, you
think
know,
so.
your grandma used to teach you certain things back in the day, right?
Girl, I was just about to go there because it's so funny. People might hear what you're saying and think about the book and they're like, oh, well, that's that life. I'm like, no, everybody's grandmother, no matter what our background, no matter anything. Everyone's grandma, we always had to have our gloves when we went to church. We always had to have our hat. We had to sit up. You had to do all these
Great.
different things. This
Mm-hmm.
is all our grandma. And it's all the things that were handed down that may have gotten lost in the sauce of just hectic times, how busy
Yeah,
our lives are. And I
yeah,
love that you're like, look, define what it is for you and then make it that way.
right. Absolutely. And there's a modern flair that I put on the book to where I'm not your average grandma that's telling you what to do, right?
Right.
It's making it relatable. It's making it fun. I have
Mm-hmm.
tips in the book that say, oh so chic and not so chic, because some things are just not okay. And there's
Yeah.
some things that are like really okay to do and very chic in their own way if you do it the proper way. It's just a matter of reinvigorating that pride within ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and knowing when to say, okay,
That's
you
right,
know what,
Hollis.
I'm going to step it up a little bit. So
Yeah,
that's what the book is about.
I love it. Hollis said you're never too busy to appreciate the flair from another woman's swag.
Yes,
That is
yes.
right. Never, never too busy. You self-published this book. I want you to talk about that because I know a lot of people say they have a book in them, and there's all these. But how do you go about self-publishing, and what made you make that decision?
Well, so just a little backstory about me. So I went to law school and then I became an educator. So writing for me was always fun. And I used to journal a lot. And the journaling turned into notes, which turned into a book, because it was hard to juggle work, home, and a husband and a baby. So
Mm,
what I did was is when I used to spend that time journaling, I said, you know what? You write in the journal for years and then the journal goes away. So what I
mm-hmm.
did was one night I took out my laptop instead of a journal and just started typing. And then the typing turned into my time. Every Sunday morning, I would dedicate time, an hour
Nice,
or 2 hours before
nice.
everyone wakes up, and I would write. And
Mm,
eventually the stories turned into the book. And the self-publishing part came about where, you weigh your options, you do your research, and you figure out what journey is best for you.
Yes.
And the reason why I decided to self-publish is because I honestly didn't want anyone to tell me what to do.
I love it.
And
That's a good
that's the
reason for
honest truth.
me.
That's the honest truth. And I'm not saying that I would never want that to happen to me in the future, but at this moment, I feel like my purpose and my passion is to share what I
Mm,
know with other people. And that's
hmm.
the main reason why I am writing this book, is because that's the main point. It's not to make money. It's not to make a whole lot of coin and get rich. It is just to share the knowledge that I know and to bring back those lost arts of manners and etiquette and
Yeah.
lifestyle. So self-publishing with the right research, you have to have the right programs and you have to maneuver through those programs. So I would say just do your research and figure out what program is best for you. This book is my baby, and I created
Um,
her from the front to the back, inside and
I love
out,
it.
every picture, every word. And
Um,
that was the beauty of self-publishing, is that I have that flexibility and freedom to create
mm,
a book in my own vision and how I want it to look. So,
I
and then
love
it's at
that.
your own timing. It's at my own personal timing. Plus, I have another child. You know, I have now a toddler, a little
Hmm.
boy. So he is a
Yes.
busy little thing.
Yes.
I'm barely able to talk to you right now.
I you chuckled when you said, because I don't want anybody to tell me what to do, but think about it. That level of control and power is something that we're all seeking right now. We're seeking to not be under the foot of someone else. And you're right. You do your book and you give it to a company, they may take out all these things, and you may feel that that's really the soul of the book. And they'll
Yeah.
hand back to you bones when you gave them a whole being. So I really love that you self-publish, and I love that you're doing that.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you
that
so
you did that.
much.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
For let's talk about some of the things in the book. So one of the things I like, you have quotes all over, and if you go onto her website, um, you can go. It does a little scroll through. You can see some of the quotes that are in. I'm going to read off a couple,
Okay.
and then I'm going to read my favorite, and then talk
Fun.
about one of the other ones. So
Okay.
these are my favorite ones. And here's the thing, everybody. Her quotes, it's simple. It's not like you have to sit there and try to remember it all day. Oh my gosh, what did she say? But it's like simple but to the point, and it's I just love it. So here you go. So one is focus on what you want to grow, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. Too many times we just do not. So to me, right? Is that what your point was with that? Like just making sure you
Right.
just stay on track?
Right. The point of it is, like, in order to be our best selves, we can't be distracted. We have to focus. It's like that saying of focus on your own garden, water your own grass over here, because
Mm-hmm.
or and back to the saying is knowing that if you want something to grow, you have to give it energy in order for it to have purpose. So that quote just came from focus on what you want to grow. If you want something in your life to sow, if you want that seed to sow, whether if it's writing a book, if it's a new career, if it's something to do at home with your children or anything, you have to dedicate time to that. You have to focus on that amongst probably other things, but you have to dedicate seriously time to whatever that is that you want to grow and develop and prosper in your life.
The next one, yes, ma'am. Can we just snaps for that? Um,
I
snap.
used to
My
go to those
rings.
poetry sessions when I was in college.
I
Those were the
girl.
thing.
Me too. Mine is from
Can
like back
someone
in the.
bring those back, please? I
Oh,
miss them.
I know. Especially, I used to go to New Eurekan Cafe downtown. This, I'm talking late '80s, early '90s, so I'm going way, way, way back. But we used to always be like, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Snaps. Thank you, Hollis. She wrote some snaps in. Another one. This is a cute one. Flowers are an everyday fancy. And I have to tell you why I like that one, because when I buy myself flowers and I just put them all over my apartment or whatever, it just feels like my home just feels so different.
Yes.
It really does. Flowers really do that. And that's why that one, thanks, Chris, snap, snap.
Yes, I
That,
love that one too. You know why? That one is such a it's a treat that we don't allow ourselves to enjoy as much. And I write
yes,
about
you're
that in
so
the
right.
book. It's yes, because it's so simple. And I wrote about this in the book where when I used to go grocery shopping, I would feel guilty about buying myself flowers because you grow up thinking someone else should buy you flowers for one.
Right,
You know, your
right.
boyfriend, significant other, or husband. So you wait on that gift, and sometimes you're wondering, when am I going to get that gift?
Yeah.
But then you realize I can buy my own self flowers
Yeah,
if I want to, and they're not that expensive. You're not buying an
no.
expensive bouquet. It is something that you deserve, and it just brings that fresh, fragrant smell into the home.
Hmm.
You know, you pick your favorite colors, you pick your favorite flowers. If it's roses, you know, mums or whatever it is, just put them on your dining room table. It just brings life
It
into the
does.
home. And it is an everyday fancy because people think that it's fancy, but it's really not. So once we
Right.
get past that mindset that we are deserving of these certain things, then
Yeah.
we can move forward. It can be just an everyday lifestyle because just like dieting, you can't diet. You can't be on a diet and then, okay, say I'm going to lose weight and this is how I'm going to be. It has to be a lifestyle. You have to think about how you're eating and how you're working out and how you're living to make
Hmm.
a part of you and a part of your life.
Yeah. I love it. That one was like, oh yes, she's so right. Um, etiquette is kindness.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh
So
yeah.
explain. I have my own because I grew up with my mama. Oh, mama, etiquette, mama. So what do you mean by that?
So in all situations, whatever we do, whether we recognize the word etiquette or not, it is
Hmm.
the action of considering others. So whether a man is holding a door open for you, or whether you're making me a cup of tea, or we are allowing each other to verbalize and speak to each other and listen back and forth, it's that constant consideration of other people because etiquette is putting other people before you. And when
Mm,
etiquette lessons, whether if it's with kids, teenagers, or adults, always teach them the importance of etiquette. It's not about me, it's about you.
right.
If we're at a dinner table and I am serving you, or if I'm pouring you a glass of wine, that etiquette, the manners, thank you, you're welcome. It's all about kindness and consideration of the other person. Right. And you're constantly being observant and you're just being naturally kind. So that's also a lost art. It is etiquette is kindness. And we have to always remember that if we want to remember how to mind our manners or practice our
Mm,
etiquette and make it
yes.
simple. As long as you're kind to people, you're practicing etiquette.
Thank you, love. So true. And let's go over that one more time. So etiquette is kindness. Etiquette is the action of considering others.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, and it's funny because people only think of etiquette as forks and knives, which fork, which knife, which butter, which spoon, blah, blah, blah. And,
Right.
we got
Right.
that. But
And in that aspect, Latifa, if I am not serving you or observing
mhm,
you and I am having my teacup and I'm drinking my tea, which by the way, the act of being kind is for me to behave in a civil manner, right? For me to use my utensils properly, for me to not slurp my tea is being considerate of you because I am not being annoying, right? I am
yeah.
that's part when you think about etiquette in that way, if the way that you are being aware of yourself and how you're
Mm,
behaving, I am considering you because for one, I don't want to be annoying, I don't want to be a bother, and I don't want to be disrespectful in a certain way. That if I am just clinking my fork and my knife, or if I'm holding my wine glass a certain way, it's all about that kindness to myself and to you.
hmm hmm And if people really want to break it down, it's like, you know, you were not raised like that. Like, you know, it's like, there's, you know, your mother would pop you or be like, sit up straight or whatever it is. Because in case people don't understand, like, if you really want to break it down, it's like, you know, your mama raised you better than that.
Right,
But I do love that. And it's putting others before yourself. Love
right.
that. There's another one that you have here. Um, Fear is not your friend. Now, here's what's so interesting about that one. I take fear, and I use it as a catalyst, or I use it, or if I'm fearful of something, to me, that's um, my first sign that it's something that I should do. Like if I'm really, really scared to do something, I'm like, then go do it. So tell me, when you say fear is not your friend, what do you mean by that?
I mean that it's fear is not on your side. You
Mm,
think of fear as a person, and you think of this person that you are not going to allow to come into your space to scare you away from your dreams and your goals.
mm,
Because anyone who is your friend would encourage you and push you and support you and clap for you and cheer for you. So when I write fear is not your friend, that is
mm-hmm,
like a metaphor to say that whatever is against you is not for you, therefore it's not your
mm.
friend. They don't have your best interests. So
Okay.
fear is not your friend. And we have to understand that, yes, we may be afraid of certain things. Like I was so afraid, and I still am, of putting myself out there for this book. I'm
Mm,
petrified, petrified. I told one of my friends, I just want to go in a
yeah,
closet and close the door
yeah,
and turn off the lights
I
because
hear you.
just of that fear of putting yourself out there, knowing that, okay, yes, I really don't care what other people think, but
Hmm
I do sort of care what people think. I want people's opinion. I want to know how they feel. I want to know how they relate to my experiences, and maybe we can share and collaborate. But if I were to allow fear to hold me back, I don't know where I would have been or what my journey would be. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to really recognize when we see fear, address the
Right.
fear, and say, no, no, deuces,
Peace
peace,
out. This is yes.
get away from here. You're not my friend. You don't have my best interest. And I'm going to just go the other direction.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, yeah, I get it, but let me really get it. Because yeah, I'm afraid of a lot of things too. And what you said, putting yourself out there is probably one of the biggest things that people have. Because if you're passionate about something,
Yeah.
you're now something just clicked. So yeah, if you're passionate about something and you're so scared that you decide not to put it out there because people may or may not like it, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
understood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give one more, and this is actually my favorite. Pursue peace instead of perfection.
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
Yes. I like that one too.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So peace is a calm that we have inside of us. And most times we have to create that. We have such hectic
Mhm.
lives. You know, I get it. I have two kids. I have a teenager and a toddler. I have a husband. I have a job. I have a home. We have all these things going on. And sometimes when we feel the most beautiful, when we feel chic, and when we feel our true selves is when we're at peace.
Mhm.
And that is sometimes not perfection because, and my aunt taught me that in California, um, you know,
Mm.
my house is not 100% perfect every day, all day. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay that I did the laundry on Sunday and I'm still folding clothes and it's Tuesday.
Yes.
But I am at peace with myself and my responsibilities and the things that I have accomplished. I feel like when you pursue peace, you can put out your best performance instead of trying to strive for perfection. if
Mm,
that makes
hmm.
sense. Because when you strive too much for perfection, it's almost like a disappointment if you don't get there.
Right.
You know, and no one's perfect. When you realize no one's perfect and you can almost be perfect, but when you
Mm,
look for peace, you have this more of like a tranquil feeling into your journey. It's almost like, you know, Latifah, when we practice yoga and you get into the tree pose and you know you leaning over and you're stumbling, but I'm gonna enjoy this
yeah.
journey
Yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
I look for my peace, right? My tree pose may not be perfect, but I'm looking for my peace within. And once I get that, guess what? I might even get to the perfect part. But we have
Right.
to strive for the peace instead of
Hmm.
perfection. And that's beauty. That's how we live our life. That's how we channel being more of a better woman, a better wife, a better mother. Everything that we're channeling and trying to be, we should strive for that peace, certainty, and calmness within instead of
Right.
100% perfect all the time. Because that not so perfectness is probably what makes you the most beautiful woman in the world.
Mm, hmm.
You
I
know, that
agree.
chic person. So
I agree.
thank you for sharing
10,000%,
that.
honey. Yeah, that's my favorite quote out of all of them. I mean, I loved a lot of them, but that one was like, yes, the peace. Um, Speaking of peace, I know being a Mocha mom has brought you a lot of peace, a lot of fulfillment. Let's talk about Mocha Mom, shall we? We are in the Mocha Moms of Bergen County. That's our chapter, Bergen County chapter. So let's talk about Mocha Moms, love.
Yeah, so I love my Mocha Moms.
Yes, and a couple
Have
of
been
them
a
are
member.
on.
Yes, thank you for the support, ladies.
Yes, hey,
Um,
Hollis, hey, Queens. Queens. Chris. I can't even
Chris, I
speak.
think that's
Anyway,
Chris.
can't even feel the names.
Yeah, so Mocha Moms is part of my story, a part of my journey. I've been a member for over 10 years. When I first joined, my daughter was 3, and that was a part of me moving and transitioning and meeting new friends and going to mommy and me play groups and play dates. So ever since then, it's just I've never left. And
Hmm.
it's a big support system.
Yeah.
You can visit our website at www.mochamoms.org for more information. If any moms out there are looking for any type of support, because it's a group for us, for mothers, um, I feel like it has really helped groom me into the mother that I am today. So I really do appreciate them and all my Mocha
Yeah.
Mom sisters out there.
Yeah. And tell them what you do. Well, what you did for the chapter, now what you do for the national.
Well, currently I'm the National Director of Community Service. And, I don't want to make this an official speaking engagement about them, but
Mm-mm.
it has helped me develop into who I am. But I am the current Director of Community Service, and I used to be the New Jersey State Coordinator. And prior to that, I was Bergen County's president.
Hmm.
So you live in it. You live in it. You
Yes.
volunteer and you embrace everyone and involve your family and your kids and that's it.
Hmm. And you support.
Yes, and you
You
support
support
each
with,
other.
yeah, find different ways to support everyone. And they have so many activities. And I love that you are, and I love it because I've met so many incredibly amazing, wonderful women in this organization, including, of course, Tiffany. So that's why I wanted to just talk about it a little bit so that people can just know that about support systems.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And everything that I learned from Mocha's prior to me. So that warmth and engagement that you talked about me giving you, I got that when I first joined. It was one of those things where one of my friends told me about the group and I put my information online and I don't know how, internet was slower back then. So at least
I
10
love,
years ago. But it was
yeah.
a house phone. You put your house phone number in on the contact us, and my phone rang, and she said, "Are you available for a play date today?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And I packed my baby up so fast, and I went to the library. And it was one of the best play dates I had ever been to. And my daughter has gained friends, and it's for mothers of color, of all colors. And I think that when you live in an area where you're the minority, it's even more special, and you gain that sisterhood and you gain that support, and you learn how to serve and help and volunteer for each other and for people in the community. So um, it is a very beneficial organization.
Very much so. Um, let's talk about you as an educator as well. So, you mentioned that earlier. I definitely want to talk about that. You work with children with special needs, right?
Yes.
Now there's a couple of questions. One, like how is that now? Like, how do you go about even doing that now? But what did you do? What do you do? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm a special educator. I currently work in Ridgefield, New Jersey at Ridgefield Memorial High School. And I have worked from 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. I specialize in inclusion support, which are working with students who have minor disabilities such as anxiety, emotional disorder, ADHD, hypertension, learning disabilities, mental disorders, visual disorders. And I work with students who are able to be inclusive in the regular classroom. So it's very different now. I miss working with them one to one.
Sure.
I feel like I'm continuously helping people in my job. It's like another service duty because you always feel like you're helping someone. And I'm not disregarding my regular students. All my students, I love all of them. And we have gained mutual respect because they see Miss Carr. They see me coming down the hallway and they're like, "Hey, Miss Carr." And so I'm so happy to see my kids. And I'm one of the few brown skin teachers and where I work, which is unfortunate in some of the districts where we are. But I
Hmm.
do become that teacher, that teacher that's like almost like the mommy figure, the advice giver, um,
Right.
the young teacher. So it's one of those things where students relate to me on that level,
Yeah.
especially teenagers. So special ed is different, and you have to know each student in particular. So no matter if we're in school or virtual, I have to know each one of my students individually in order to best serve them, in order to best be of support to them, whether if it's um, providing for them modified quizzes or tests, or if it's reading with them separately a certain article, helping them with reading comprehension and showing them that math problem a totally different way because some kids learn different than others.
Hmm.
So, and I thrive off of that. I have a passion for that. I love teaching, whether if it's teaching kids, teaching etiquette. I love teaching. So for me to go into a classroom and teach my kids something, a different way of doing that math problem, it excites me. But right now, with what we're going through with the
Hmm.
pandemic and virtually, it's hard. And like we start school on September 8th, and I'm wondering how to improve. How can we improve working with students who have disabilities, who have special needs, because some of them don't get the support at home from their parents. And that's where we
Yeah.
come in, right? So it's almost like we did double duty. And it's just going to be a lot of video calls and checking in and texting because they need that constant motivation. The one thing I have learned with special ed kids and any student, and I'm not just going to say special ed because all students need encouragement. They need motivation. They need that positive feedback. Like, yes, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. Let me see you try it this way. Let's try it
Hmm.
another way. I bet you can do it this way better.
Hmm.
And they thrive off of that. So that's my job. So all day is me being a cheerleader for these students. So
I love it. That is
yeah.
so special. And representation does matter,
Yes.
truly. Because you're right, you are that mother figure. And I know you take that very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that, honey. What
Yeah.
is now you went to law school. What made you go from law to education though? What was that? What was the thing that made you say, you know what, this is the direction I'm going in?
Being a mother, being a mother. And I researched the different type of career changes that I wanted to make. And I really do enjoy teaching and helping people. And I
Mm-hmm.
realized, well, how can I make this where, like someone told me to not be a slave to my career, right? You don't want to ever be working to,
Yeah.
you don't want to work to live. You want to live to work. You want to enjoy your job. So I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, how can I enjoy my family, spend time and be a good mother and work regardless of the salary and still get the most benefit and fulfill my purpose in that. And it was teaching. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a journey. I started off part-time for a couple years until my daughter was old enough, until I was able to let go of her. And then I
Yeah,
went,
that's the hard part.
yes, and then I went full time and realized, wow, this is fun. This is great. I'm off in the summers. Every holiday I'm off. Whenever we have snow days, I'm off. So
Yeah.
it's a really good career path, and some people don't give teachers enough credit, but we should be paid a
Too many
little bit
people
more.
don't. Yeah,
But
too many people don't.
oh yes, and I feel
Yeah.
like especially now during COVID, we are, if we were going back into the school building, we would be those first responders. We would be that person on the front line because we're teaching your children. We're teaching
Mhm.
them in the midst of a pandemic with masks and face coverings,
Yeah.
risking our lives. So I really do believe that the districts that have made virtual learning at home the priority have made the right choice, because the last thing we want is to start losing teachers, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the last thing we want.
Yes. Ugh. What is it about what what are some of the lessons that you've learned in education and for what you do that have helped you in being a mom? How's that helped you with your children and um, just how you relate and how you do things with the kids? How's that helped you?
Okay, so there is one word for that, is, and working in special education and working with students and kids of all different personalities, is patience.
Yeah.
You need to have a lot of patience if you are an educator. And I'm pretty sure that goes in other different career and different fields. And then when you come home and you're a mom, you have to channel
Mhm.
that same patience.
Yes, you do.
You know, so I feel bad. You know how you feel bad if you snap or yell at your own kids. Imagine how it is if you're at school. You cannot
Mm.
allow yourself to come to that breaking point if you're a teacher and if you're in front of students. So you have to practice patience. And then that allowed me to have that same patience with my daughter and now with my son. Allow them
Mhm.
to be who they are. As long as they're following the rules and being good people and showing good character, allow them to be who they are. And because this generation is different how we used to be. Gone are the days of going to school and sitting up straight and not talking the whole 30 minutes of the period.
Right.
These kids have opinions. They want to talk.
Sure
They
do.
want to express themselves. And a kid may want to draw while he's listening to a lecture. You have to allow them to draw. You have to allow them to flex their creativity, however they may say. Like they may say, I'd rather do my presentation via video than write a report. Okay, let's see you do that. You have to be able to be flexible with today's generation and still teach and
Hmm.
practice patience at the same time.
So you said patience, but there's balance in there too.
and balance.
Definitely. There's, because what you're saying is exactly that. That's balance. You're like,
Mhm.
yes, try it with the video, but you are still teaching. So you
Yeah.
do have to find a way to balance for all of that stuff off. And that can't be easy. So I'm sure that's the number one thing that you bring home. That's the number one takeaway.
Patience. Yes,
Yeah,
it is patience
it
because if
is.
I don't have patience, we will lose it. We will snap. We will break down, and that is the point to where we don't want to be as women, as moms. Sometimes we may go there. I may cry, and that's okay. We have to understand that it's okay to cry sometimes. Sometimes we're going to have some bad days. Like one of the quotes I write in the book, it's one of my own quotes that I write is, "We are not our situation, so let's make it chic." You know, this
Hmm.
situation right now that I might be in, it might be bad temporarily, or it might even be good, but I have the ability and the capability to make it better. So sometimes
Yeah,
we got to just pull ourselves out of whatever that is and just make it just a little bit better. And I talk about that. This week, I'm actually promoting a series called Chic Week. So this is Chic Week. And it is a week of me sharing etiquette and lifestyle tips up
chic
until,
week.
yes, it is Chic Week because
That
on this
down.
day, next week, Tuesday, is the release of my new book. And I want to just help encourage people every day up until that day. And I'm focusing on 3 tips, which is fall back to school tips on how to be chic in every aspect, whether if it's your career, at home, back to school. It's organization, self-care, which is what we're talking about now, and
Yeah.
presentation. So stay tuned for what I have in store for the rest of the week because it is a chic week.
Are you doing that on live, or are you doing that on just posts, or how are you doing that?
Yes, so it's on post and I will be sharing videos. And I do have a little fun video I'm going to be posting on YouTube on Friday about makeup because we want to be presenting ourselves well.
I
And
need
one
eye
part of
makeup.
and one part of that is just a quick natural 5-minute makeup. So
Hmm.
you'll see that on my Instagram page, Chic Situations, and my YouTube page on Friday morning.
I love it. I need help with eye makeup.
Yeah, so here's the
I
key.
never even bothered.
So here's the key with eye makeup.
Thanks,
Because
Holly.
see how I'm wearing a bright color lip?
Hmm.
You want to wear neutral eyes.
Oh, hey,
So you
cutie.
so you want to be able to wear a neutral color eyeshadow if
Hmm.
you're wearing a bold lip, right? If you
Yeah,
are wearing a neutral lip, then you go a little darker on the eyeshadow because it balances your face. And especially women of color, we have to be careful with colors that we choose and different eyeshadow colors and how we blend the two because you don't want to have a dark eye and a dark lip.
it kind of closes you in like this, correct?
Right. Right.
Yeah, and we want our faces to shine.
Right.
Be your boldest self. Okay, because right now all I do is mascara.
Yeah, so watch my video on Friday. No, you need to watch my video on Friday and
I'm gonna do it.
it'll show you and I do all my makeup. I do it. I show it in the video. I'm so scared, but I hope everyone will love it. This is the true me. This is the true self. I'm exposing myself to
Yes.
help inspire others.
Yeah.
So you'll even see my eyebrows, you'll see how I do my makeup, everything, because we need to be able to let that wall down and say, it's okay.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
okay. You know, you have to be able to do what works best for you. And sometimes it's about just tweaking ourselves a little bit, but you have to be able to know how to balance your time and give yourself that energy every morning.
That whole that vulnerable thing is something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think, who is it? Brene Brown says, I'm going to get it wrong. Oops, it just slipped. But it's something about vulnerability is the same as courage, or the more, it's the same thing. So for you to get out there and be like, I'm guessing when you start this video, there'll be no makeup.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, yeah. So just think you are going to be very courageous.
Yeah.
Very, yeah, very
It could
courageous.
be all natural, and that's okay because we
It
have to,
is.
as women, we have to be okay with who we are in order to be our best selves.
Yes.
We have to be. And
Yes,
if
we
you're not,
do.
it's a process. Sometimes it takes some people longer to get there, but
Yeah.
you have to, and I'm not saying expose yourself completely, but what I'm saying is be comfortable with who you are enough to make yourself better.
Yeah.
It's creating that balance, right? Because
Yeah.
another thing I write in the book is knowing how to create like a self-maintenance routine without having to go from one extreme to the other. Because some,
Mm,
unfortunately, we're either out of the house in sweats and a t-shirt or leggings and a t-shirt and no makeup at all, to okay, if I'm going somewhere, I need to go to the makeup counter and get my makeup done, completely done, and I need to buy a new outfit and get me a new purse and new shoes and new everything. But that's not realistic. You have to have that balance of how do I maintain myself and my presentation and maintain that pride in myself and have that good in between so that
right.
you're ready for anything, you're ready to tackle anything and take on anything the world will bring you at this moment with our pink lips and if we choose to wear red lips. Okay, so
Yes.
that is the point that I'm trying to make in the book is you have to create that balance for yourself, and be okay with who you are at this moment, but
Hmm.
still have that desire to do just a little bit something extra to make it better.
That's so sweet. That's so good. Yes. When you are, I have, by the way, we have all the Mocha Moms are on right now. It's like, hi, Tiff. Hi,
Hi,
Giovanna.
ladies.
Hi. Hey, everybody. Hey, honey. Um, um, we're at the end, but because what I want, if I want you to leave some last words for people. So if you could give just any advice or anything, any wisdom, what word wisdom do you want to leave people today?
I want to say that being chic starts within. A lot of us think that it's a facade, that it may be something that is unattainable, but it is. It's just a word that I use to help you recognize the beauty within you because you are beautiful and
Mm,
the beauty on the outside that the world has to offer that can also teach you and teach me. So I really hope that my book and anything that I share or post really helps everyone understand that life is a journey and you have to be
mm,
able to continue to work on that journey. And it all starts from within. I have four parts of the book that I share in the book. And it explains that whole journey is one, the first part is creating chic, which means we have to be able to recognize who we are and create the person that we want to be.
mm,
And
mhm.
part two is living chic. Now, once you understand who you are and your purpose and your passion, now it's time to live it. You live being chic, right?
Put
You
it
have
into
to
action.
practice that, right? You make
Yeah.
the things in your life a habit, like buying those flowers or using the right wine glass or setting the table. The third thing
Hmm.
is sharing your chic. Sharing chic means sharing everything that you've worked on with yourself and everything that you've lived and made a habit and created. You're sharing it now with other people. I am sharing my chicness with you right now.
Yeah.
It's like where you share the wonderfulness that you've learned and developed with other people. And the last thing is embracing chic. That's part four of the book. And what I mean by that is embracing and learning from anything out there that's already beautiful, that's knowledgeable, that is well worth your time, like museums, books, reading, education, music, culture, right? The things happening in the news. We have to be smart. Being chic is just not on the outside. Being chic is everything from the inside to the outside.
Mm.
And that's what I want to leave with everybody.
Uh, before at the end of every at the end of everything, I always leave with an affirmation, but you choose the affirmation. So give me a number between 1 and 10.
A number. Okay. 8, because my birthday is September the 8th.
Oh, Virgo. My mama's a Virgo. Oh, that makes sense. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the eighth card.
Okay.
I am abundant. That's our affirmation for the day. I am abundant. I love that. So thank
Yes.
you for choosing that, honey. I am abundant. I
I
am
am abundant. Yes. We give
I am
ourselves
abundant.
permission to be abundant. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Thank you so much, babe. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of my mochas who came on. Thank you all for supporting. Thank you for everybody who watched and will be watching, because once this goes up, more people will be watching. Um, so much mocha love to you, sweetie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Uh,
And I hope you
thank
enjoy the
you.
book.
Oh, I definitely will. And everyone, September 1st is when the book comes out. But no worries, when I put this up, I'm going to make sure you get all that information. All right,
Yes.
y'all. So remember, be abundant and be chic. Put it up a
Yes.
little higher. Put the book up a little higher. Look, there you go. Ta-da!
Stay
I
chic.
love it. Baby, take care, hon. Everybody
Thank
have
you.
a great night. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, babe.